Hello, boys and girls, and happy birthday to me. That's right, I turned 29 today. Hard to believe. But, yeah, I'm getting my walker repaired, I'm getting my hearing aids ordered, my colostomy bag, the whole 9 yards. Doing a massive blowout today, in more ways than one. And, yeah, so having a party by myself today because, this is the corona age and big birthday parties are kind of hard to have in this day and age. So that's why I'm going to celebrate my birthday with all of you out there. Um, so you all remember my big rant there with Back to the Future. Luckily, it seems like the replacement will show up Saturday, so I won't have to wait quite as long. I made my return of the broken one earlier today, so that's pretty good. I did treat myself with a $15 bookcase, which is off camera, just because, always is good to have more room to put things. And actually, I got a refund from a dermatologist's office that actually was $15, so kind of paid for itself in a way. But yeah, so, and I got a few things to show off. But first off, I want to show you a few two eBay items and one Amazon item that came yesterday, and I initially talked about it in the previous video, but I cut it out because I just wanted to devote the whole thing to Back to the Future. The Amazon item that came that day was the Shout Selective adaptation, the Spike Jonze film written by Charlie Kaufman, starring my boy Nicolas Cage, Meryl Streep, and Chris Cooper. He actually won Best Supporting Actor for his role in here. And it's a pretty unique film, I have to say. Really great if you're interested in, screenwriting and adaptation, the adaptation process. It's very, very meta, and, it's not really meta in the cutesy sense. It's, like, full-blown meta, because the screenwriter basically puts himself in this film. Charlie Kaufman basically puts himself as Nicolas Cage, in the script, and the character Charlie Kaufman is putting himself in the script, so it's very, very meta, which you would think would be like, really obviously pretentious, or would be like an excuse for, poor screenwriting or whatever. But this is a good example of how to do meta storytelling correctly, because it goes all the way with its central premise. And then two items that I got off of eBay were the Best Buy exclusive steelbooks of Captain Marvel and Ant-Man. And I got those because I've been a Marvel fan ever since I can remember, before there were big budget, blockbuster movies made about the characters that I loved ever since I was a kid. Before even, the MCU, I'm saying, like, I remembered being a kid when, like, Blade and X-Men were brand new. Like, I remembered seeing the TV spots for him, and I saw the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man film, saw that in the theater when it was brand new, and it was like an absolutely magical theatrical experience. So, point being, I'm a true believer, as the late great Stan Lee would say. But I felt bad because I didn't have all of my MCU films in the collection, because by all accounts these represent the Marvel Universe very, very well. I just felt bad that I didn't have them all in the collection, so I have rectified that. The other ones will be coming in the collection in the coming days. I did have The Incredible Hulk, and I had the two MCU Spider-Man films already, but I'm just going to get the rest of them in the coming days. So, let's open up our first Amazon package here. This one was a pre-order, and it's a movie I've never seen before, but it looked pretty cool. It's a Kino Lorber film called Killdozer, and I got it because I'm glad that Kino Lorber, that they're actually putting stuff out with slipcovers now, because all of these, classic films that they've put out that I really love, like I'm thinking of Barton Fink or the Man with No Name trilogy or whatever, like, for whatever reason, I don't think they had slipcovers, and if they did, then I've never seen them. But I'm just glad that they are shipping new ones out with slipcovers that are really cool. Like I pre-ordered a bunch of ones that were the Clint Eastwood ones. No reversibles, but that's okay. Um, yeah, the Clint Eastwood ones that he did, like a lot of the westerns, like Two Mules for Sister Sarah and High Plains Drifter and Play Misty for Me, things like that. Which that's not a western, that's a thriller, but still pre-ordered a lot of those because I want to grab them while they still have the slips. You never know when those things are gonna go out of print. And I love Clint Eastwood, but this one here, Killdozer. I mean, it's 1974, and I mean, come on, that title, that cover, it's like I got to do that. I just got to do it. All right, and then this one. Okay, so because it is my birthday, my good friend Esmeralda James, she was shipping. She said that something arrived, and all of these are Amazon. So I'm guessing that she was able to turn something around quickly because of Amazon. And that one feels light, so I'm gonna save that one for last because I don't know what it is. This one I'm almost certain. Well, actually, I know what this one is because this one was for Amazon Prime Day was the other day, and this had a surprisingly cheap price, like it was half price for this edition of it. And that is something that I've wanted to have in the collection for quite a long time, but I just didn't ever find a good price for it. And that is the complete series of Batman Beyond, the collector's edition that has the Funko Pop in it. And I already have the complete series of Batman the Animated Series, which, of course, probably the best version of Batman outside of the comic books medium that's ever been. I think that's a pretty universal consensus, I think. And as far as continuing that universe, the Bruce Timm universe, or the DC animated universe, as far as continuing that with original content, original stories, Batman Beyond was pretty damn good. It was pretty cool. Again, this was like all new stuff. This didn't have a comic book precedent to it, but of course now it has since had a lot of Batman Beyond comics that tied in directly to the show when it was on, but also tied into just the whole idea of it many years later. But yeah, you got, it's in the future. It's an aging old, Bruce Wayne who's not really able to be Batman anymore because of his heart and his age, and through circumstance, a young kid, Terry McGinnis, he stumbles upon the Batsuit and the Batcave and everything, and kind of proves his worth to become the new Batman, mentored, of course, by Bruce Wayne himself. And this Funko Pop is kind of up. There you go. It was snagging. And it's interesting because this suit, I always loved the suit. I did find it a little weird that you could see his mouth. At the time I did, and I still kind of do. If you were to do a live action Batman Beyond, which has been kicking around for a long time, hasn't gotten anywhere. But I always wondered, like, how would you do that? How would you show that off? And really, what's the point of it? Because I kind of think it would be cooler if you didn't see his mouth. But then again, Batman, you've always seen his mouth, and it's such that, like, in animation, for example, otherwise it'd be kind of hard to tell, like, get a sense of his expressions and stuff. And you'd run into, like, because I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's my number one favorite superhero, but like, in live action and in animation, it's always been kind of hard because his mask covers all of his face, and so it's kind of hard to, like, show emotions and that kind of stuff. So I understand that that's a hurdle. But anyway, we got some cool cards here. This one's lenticular here. Let me open them up for you. I think these are postcards. And I imagine a lot of you probably have this set already. I'm kind of late to the party. Just so happened that the price point worked out. And these seem to be lenticulars. The other set, the animated series set, came with ones like this as well. I loved all the original villains that this series came up with. And this series also, for Marvel anyway, because this is obviously DC, but for Marvel, I remembered when Spider-Man, the animated series, ended, they had that short-lived Spider-Man Unlimited show, which was like, I never watched it, but I do want to watch it. Um, now, if I recall, this set also comes with the excellent Batman Beyond Return of the Joker film. Let me make sure that that's true. But here's the actual, smaller set there that houses everything. Um, but yeah, the show's great. Definitely watch the show. It's well worth it. The film, Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, is so good. It's one of the best Batman films in animation or live action. Yes, it does come with it. Oh yeah, and there's the digital copy codes, which I'll probably sell these. Um, but yeah, we got the little booklet here with all the various episodes and such, and it's a show that I honestly would love to just revisit from beginning to end because of, I remembered a friend of mine kind of had me watch all of the DC animated universe, with the exception of Static Shock and the Zeta Project, but she didn't have, and I don't think was all that readily accessible at the time. And those were sort of relatively tangential compared to the other uh, ones in the series. But yeah, it does come with Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, which the whole time that I watched this show, I remembered thinking to myself, that's Terry McGinnis. It's not Batman, because when I think Batman, I think of Bruce Wayne. And I mean, I still think that somewhat, except I will say with Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, the film, um, I felt like that was the movie that really allowed for Terry McGinnis to really earn the title and the role of Batman. But in his own way, because he is not the same person as Bruce Wayne. And in fact, his showdown with the Joker really demonstrates just what a different person he is from Bruce Wayne. Because Bruce Wayne was always really serious and was always very, grim and dour, obviously, because that's his personality. And the Joker, of course, is always gleeful and maniacal because, he's the Joker, he's a psycho, and all that stuff. What's interesting with Terry McGinnis is that because he is still, a kid, but he's also, kind of a smartass, and he's very, very talented at what he does, but, he is kind of a smartass. He is not, he's had a lot of bad stuff happen to him, but he's not, like, dour all the time like Bruce is, necessarily, and so when he confronts the Joker's old ways of getting under that Batman's skin, under Bruce's skin, don't work on Terry, because he doesn't have those same traumas that the Joker can exploit. So, it's really interesting stuff. Highly recommend the show. Hopefully you've all seen it. Hopefully you, too, have this set. And finally, we have the mystery package, which is rather long. I wonder what it could be. I truly don't know what this is, and that's why I'm saving it for last. Thank you very much to Esmeralda for sending me something, but I don't know what. Could be a massive gag gift for all I know. Let's see what we got. It looks almost like a wand, but it isn't. Oh, okay. And it says, a gift for you. And it says, to start your collection, happy birthday, little brother, from Esmeralda James. Thank you so much. Now, this here, is that from Soul Calibur right there? Or, like, Tekken or something, one of the Namco fighting games? It looks like it is, or if it isn't, then it could have fooled me. Now this actually, so what this says is on the little card here, it says Survivor Blade Susa SW799 medieval short sword, 14 inches overall. How nice is that? Because I'm a big fan of, always have been a big fan of like swords and blades and just weaponry, like, throughout the centuries, throughout the ages, just to, for historical purposes, and, it's all interesting stuff to me. But I will admit that like, at most I have, like, a hunting knife or a small machete, large machete, all stuff that, you can get fairly easily from any store. like a Harbor Freight or a like an outdoor store. Nothing too crazy or nothing too special, but this does look special, and we're gonna see just how special it is. Well, it's got styrofoam, so that automatically makes it super special, and it's got this yellow uh, diaper thing. That's the mark of quality right there. Now, the actual sword itself is in plastic here, but look what a beauty that is. Let's take it out of the plastic and see what we got. So, we have, it's definitely emulating the look of these classical short swords here. I actually have a sharpening stone. I manually sharpened my machetes and knives and stuff. I did an okay job. I'm not a professional by any means, but I will probably sharpen this bad boy up. And so let's see. We got, I think that's, eagle on the crest there. We got a knight helmet there. We've got, some embroidery and such on the hilt and on the sheath there. So let's see. All right, so let's see. Definitely needs to be sharpened. This is dull as hell right now, and the blade is really just like, look at that. I mean, I wouldn't want to stab myself with it, but like, look. Like, I'm gripping tight and this isn't doing anything, which obviously I'm sure that in order to ship it, they probably have to dull it pretty good. But this is definitely something I will want to sharpen. Might even, do it myself. So we got it's kind of a little short sword here. It almost looks like a letter opener, except, a little bit greater, a little bit bigger. And then, let's see. So if we do this, go down in a stabbing motion like that, kind of reminds me of the knife in Macbeth, any of the various versions of Macbeth. And I'm trying to think, so like, I suppose you could, this is almost like Peter Pan's little dagger, isn't it? Versus if Captain Hook's massive, rapier, and he can like barely defend himself with it. So yeah, I don't think you would necessarily want to like take this into battle. This is more like a, your Lady Macbeth or whatever, and you're gonna, kill the king, King Duncan or whatever, or your Hamlet, and Polonius is behind the curtain, and you're gonna stab the shit out of him. This is more the knife you'd use for that. Which obviously I'm not condoning murder or whatever, but at any rate, it's definitely a beauty. Thank you very much, my dear Esmeralda. I'm very thankful for it. And yeah, so that was the, relatively short birthday episode. So is it your birthday today also? Let me know in the comments below. Well, again, it's the corona age, so I couldn't really have a big party like, I would have wanted. I'm also not like that much of a party person. And I think I've managed to kind of treat myself a lot with rebuilding my collection and bringing you guys along on the journey with me, because not to recap the whole thing, but this year has been really, really hard on me, as it has for all of us. But for me, it was hard in terms of like having lost so many of the things that material and otherwise, personal and all that stuff, occupation wise, having lost so much that meant so much to me. And I've spent this year just working really hard to not only survive, but to get that sense of security back. And now it seems like things are starting to stabilize once again. It seems like my life is getting to a place where it can finally be what I want it to be. So, yeah, I'm very thankful, despite all of the insanity around me. I'm very thankful to be in this particular, physical location and just this place in my life now where, I can do this for you guys and for myself. And it has really helped to restore my soul. So for all those who have watched me thus far, thank you. And I hope that, you continue to like this sort of thing. So please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, set phasers to stun, warp factor 5. If you got your killdozer, you got your Macbeth, Shakespearean kind of dagger there. Pop this bad boy in and enjoy yourself this fine day, as each day is a chance for things to change for the better. I will see you guys in the next video, and yeah, continue to stay safe.